Thanks for clicking. All right, who got first last video? Poor old Papa got first by 3 seconds. Congratulations. Hit that like button, friendo, and help me grow this channel. A channel that will never have bullion dealer sponsors. There's nothing wrong with bullion dealers. I like bullion dealers. I buy from bullion dealers. How could anyone take my opinion on gold and silver seriously if I had a sponsor that sells gold and silver? There's got to be a better way to make profit other than selling out the integrity of the channel, and I'm going to figure it out one day. Until then, let's just grow the community. The wealthy community of thousandaires. I went to the coin shop yesterday, but I forgot it was closed. Perhaps I'll go today after I get my tires this morning. I'm getting 4 new tires. This is the 3rd time in my life that I'm getting 4 new tires all at the same time. Oh yes, I'm really upper poor now. If you're struggling right now in life, things can get better. You just got to get on that track and stay on it. And that track I'm referring to is the right track. You know when you're on the wrong track. Feels good, but it's the wrong track. The right track, it takes a little time, but once you get that momentum going, yeah, the feel good comes back. And dare I say, life becomes much easier. Nothing's guaranteed. We're not talking about immortality here, but I think the right track is the best track. And one of the main things I do on these rails is stack a little each week. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. It's not financial advice, but I am advising you to think. If the Hare and the Tortoise were in a stacking race rather than a running race, who do you think would win? The Hare would likely overzealously buy too much all at once. And what is buying too much all at once? It's when you don't give your finances enough wiggle room for life's volatility, such as some event that could come along where you would need some cash. You know, like tires. I was talking about tires just a moment ago. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not some loser because you bought too much gold and silver, but you do have to sell to get the cash, and you lose some of these premiums. And sometimes worse than that, you can also get in the habit of selling. I believe selling experience is a good thing, but you don't want to get in the habit of selling. A lot of stackers aren't great at holding on to cash. But it's good to keep some around in case you need it. That's what the Tortoise does, because the Tortoise does not want to use his stack as an ATM machine. So while at the LCS, local coin shop, the Tortoise looks around but just buys a little bit. The shopkeeper realizes that the Tortoise is there every week, but only buys a little bit. So sometimes the dealer will try to stimulate the Tortoise to buy more by offering him some deals. But the Tortoise never takes the deal. I'm kidding. Of course the Tortoise takes the deal sometimes. You see, the Tortoise has an extra pocket with a thick knot of cash in it that it's been saving each week because it only buys a little silver and gold each week and has some cash left over. The Tortoise knows that slow and steady wins the race, but the Tortoise isn't perfect. Meanwhile, the Hare is looking at the silver prices to look to re-enter the market after selling so much of its hoard to pay the heating bill. It's just a minor setback, and a little bit of premiums were lost. No big deal. The fast rabbit will just check the market and look for the best price to re-enter. It wants to make another large purchase, and it wants to get the best price. After watching the market for days and weeks, plus commentaries on people's chart analyses on YouTube, the ideal entry point doesn't seem to come along, so the rabbit relaxes and doesn't pay attention for a while. And more importantly, does not purchase anything. Weeks go by, months go by, and the Tortoise shows up to the coin shop each week and just buys a little bit. Like a constant drip from a leaky ceiling, the Tortoise's bucket fills, full of mercury dimes, quarters and halves, and some silver dollars too. Some of them cost a little more than the others, and some of them cost a bit less. The Hare runs into the Tortoise at the convenience store one day while buying sandwiches. They're typing their orders in on the self-checkout computers. It's a pain, but you can't get good help these days. They both know that both of them are stackers, so they talk about stacking. Isn't it great to have friends that stack as well? They both complete their sandwich orders on the computer and hit the like button. You hit the like button, didn't you? It's okay. Everybody forgets sometimes. I just really appreciate it. This is work. And don't forget to chime in on the comments below. I'll continue with our story that I'm making up in my head as I drink my coffee this morning. So the Tortoise and the Hare talk about their stacking adventures and how much they've stacked, but the Tortoise starts to feel a bit reticent or cautious or unwilling to share its information. You see, while the Hare had a fairly decent stack of silver, no doubt, the Tortoise had been saving a little cash each week and buying large gold coins every 6 months, along with the steady buying of silver each week. The Hare had a little gold, but mostly silver, and not really much of it. Not as much as it should have had by now, and this alarmed the Tortoise. The Hare started complaining about its life and fidgeting and scratching its neck. The tortoise felt empathy for its old friend, whilst realizing their paths had taken them to two very different places. The tortoise paid and said goodbye to its old friend and walked out of the store. And when the hare reached the checkout, it was surprised to find the tortoise had paid for its sandwich. All right, I guess that's my thoughts this morning. I gotta go get the tires, so that's it. That is it! Thousand Air Radio, Wicked Show.